Hey everybody, it's Rick OShay playing MPQ Marvel Puzzle Quest. Thanks for jumping on again. This video is going to be all about the supports. I've been talking about it for a long time, and we've been waiting for many months for the developers to either have something new come out with supports or something that motivates us to try harder on these. And so they may come out with something new at the time of this video. The supports work on the story mode side of the game, and I'm just going to draw these tokens very soon. So we're going to do two separate videos. The first one will be all about the supports, how you can equip them to specific characters, who they work well on, who I have them connected to on my 4-star and mostly 5-star characters, and these strategies for doing that for specific reasons for different events where characters are boosted and such. So in a separate video, we'll draw the tokens and add in any new supports we get. But in this one, we'll talk about all the ones I have and the ones I don't have quite yet. Let's jump into it. So those 80 plus tokens will be really a good addition to my supports roster, if you want to call it that. I have 5 different, I'm going to call it 4-star supports. You could call it 4-tier. They have 4 different perks unlocked on the 4-star, so it's all relative on how the ranking system goes, and mine will be in a different order than yours due to how they are different level ranks than what you have on your own game. But so let's do this. Let's go through a general rundown of all the supports, and we'll start at the lowest level ones that I have, and then we'll go up to the highest levels that I happen to have equipped, and then we'll talk about the ones that I don't even have yet, including the very elusive but very powerful Power Stone supports. So let's start here. Let's go to the ones and check it out. So I only have 4 supports in 1-star ranking, or with the 1-tier or perk unlocked. Let's start at the bottom. Happens to be Vanessa Fisk. This is the one that's designed with a synergy for 5-star or 4-star Kingpin. And at level 1, see the below the star ranking and level, it says 50 out of 50 on the lower left corner. So as you rank up your supports with the red ISO that's listed at the everybody is listed at the top of your supports area, you can go 50 levels per rank. The only way to rank up your supports to another tier is to just find or acquire somehow another support of the same type. I would need another Vanessa of a 2-star or higher to rank this support higher than 50. So knowing that, let's take a quick look at the perks. And I won't spend a whole lot of time on every single support, but this is a nice way to get started. So on rank 1, it says when a friendly power is fired, there's a 6+% chance to remove an enemy special tile. That's very nice and helpful when this is equipped to a certain type of character, and if you're going to fire off abilities in the story mode quite a bit, you have a chance to remove an enemy special tile. And just so you know, it has a chance to remove a countdowns as well as strike, attack, and protect tiles. And so I only have rank 1. There is no rank 2 or 4 on some of these supports. We'll see how that goes along through here. Rank 3 would be another, you can read the description on your own there, and usually rank 5 is a pretty cool perk to have. The synergy perk is specific to a certain character or a type of character. In this case, the synergy perk is set for Kingpin, and you can get enemy attack tile of a certain strength, and that the strength goes up with levels. Very good. So I'll probably try to be really brief on most of these, and then on our bigger ones we'll spend maybe a little more time. The Tinkerer, the Phineas Mason, this is the perk that was, it's a support that was designed with the perk for, see if it says here, yep. So you can read those through and check it out, but this one is designed to work with Prowler, and the rank 1 perk where there's a 20+% chance of creating a strength 132 or so strike tile is actually pretty useful, because on Prowler specifically, he creates strike tiles but has an advantage on his blue if you have more of special tiles than the enemy has in special tiles for a potential for team damage on his blue as on top of the stun to the target. So definitely the synergy perks you want to really read through and analyze your own supports and see who is best to assign them to. Now remember though, supports do not work at all. They're not allowed in versus mode. So in PvP they have no bearing whatsoever, and you don't need to worry about what you're equipping to characters in versus. But whenever you have a character you haven't used in a while in the story mode, maybe they're boosted for the week and you're going to get some use out of them, you just have to assign some support to every character you're going to play if you have enough to do that. So the step for Cuckoos, this is the telepathic teens. This is the synergy perk that is designed for Emma Frost, but keep in mind when you look at these, it says equip to, it says X-Men at the lower left corner, so you can equip it to any X-Men character, but you can't equip it to someone who isn't an X-Men. It is very tied to an affiliation. So on rank 1, there's a 10+% chance to steal 3 random AP. So when the supported character fires a power, not when anyone on your team does, it has to be the character that has this support attached to them. And then you can see the rank 3 and rank 5 supports have some extra enhancements for purple AP and such. Now, I want to take a quick look at Quantum Realm. I would love to upgrade this one. I only have the tier 1 star. You can equip it to any character, so heroes or villains alike are fine. But this rank 1 perk is really quite awesome. At the start of the turn, there is a 22+% chance to gain 5 purple. Not the start of the turn, Rick, it's the start of the match. Okay, so right when you start the actual match, you hit battle, and there's that % chance to gain purple at the beginning of the match. And then after that, rank 1 doesn't do anything for the rest of the match. But this is designed as a synergy perk with Ghost, and if you equip it to her specifically, you'll get some additional unlocked abilities there at the bottom. Alright, so that's the rank 1s. Let's look at the rank 2s and go through the list. I'll go a lot quicker here. There are more to cover. Here, the Yarrow Root is a really pretty, some people like this one. If you can get it at rank 3, it has a really good chance to start the battle with 5 green AP. Very useful. I don't have it at rank 3, but this support is in the current batch of supports from the tokens, and we'll talk about this the support batches or groupings here in a little bit. It is designed with a synergy perk for Nebula. You can look through these as on your own, even if you don't have them, by the way. If you go to all, and the ones that you don't have are shadowed, but you can still click on them and take a look at their abilities. But when you click on a support that you don't own, it automatically shows the level 250, the 5-star, the 5-tier stats. So don't look at a support you don't have and go, wow, those stats are amazing, I need to get that. It's very difficult to get a 4-star or above support, and you can just you can read through and understand what the supports do, but your percentages and damage numbers will be way lower at just ranks 1 and 2. So just wanted to put that out there, and let's just start from the back. The Web Shooters is designed for any Spider-Verse character, right? Did I read that right? Hard to have all these memorized. For anyone in the Spider-Verse, but it does have a synergy perk. Let's see. Now this one isn't a character-specific synergy perk, or is it? Let me think here. I'm trying to remember. It seems like it could be anyone from the Spider-Verse, but certainly maybe this one is designed for 4-star Infinity War Spidey, maybe, since the rank 2 is blue. It's probably going to be a Spider-Verse character with a blue ability or passive. This one is Wong. I like this one a lot. Level 2 goes up to level 100. The synergy perk is for Doctor Strange, and when he fires a power with a stun, which is of course his blue ability, there is a chance to increase the stun by 1 turn. That's really awesome, because on Doctor Strange's stun, it does additional damage per turn. It does additional AP, enemy AP destruction each turn. So very cool. and plus the first couple ranks have to do with blue, etc. So let's start going through the list here a little bit. The Milano is an amazing support if you run 4-star Rocket and Groot in PvE. You can equip it to anyone from the Guardians of the Galaxy, but the synergy perk is only for Rocket and Groot. And it's great because it creates a countdown that does its own damage, but don't forget you're almost always going to have strike tiles on the board. Those will add in to the countdown when it goes off, and has a little bit of a boost to green from the rank 2. So let's start speeding through this a little bit. I'm not going to highlight every single one, but we'll spend a little more time on my higher rank ones, and then we'll cover the ones I don't have. Some are obvious for who they attach to, like this Loki says it works for anyone that is a villain, but of course the synergy perk is for Loki, and it's actually the god of mischief, so I do believe that is the 5-star Loki only. And the Children of Thanos abilities are actually quite good. There are not enough, in my opinion, supports that work for villains. There's a lot that work for heroes or hero affiliations like X-Men and Avengers and stuff. So we need more that attach to villains and have some good perks. I would love to get a chance to raise these Children of Thanos up past level 2, but I just haven't drawn any time. Those guys are in the batch of supports. This Carol's Communicator, let's see, doesn't have a perk 2, a rank 2, but rank 1 is pretty decent. You have a good chance, almost a 1 in 3 chance to start a battle with 2 strength, 416 projectiles. That's really huge for it only being a 2-star support. That's it for the 2 stars, although I will point out that Atlantis is another highly sought after support, mostly because of the rank 3, where again you can have a high likelihood percentage of starting the match with a bunch of green AP. For the most part, most people like supports that do have chance to gain AP or gain AP from different things, creates a chance to create special tiles and extra match damage on certain colors. That's pretty much the biggest ones, but you'll see in the 3 stars some supports that have some other really awesome benefits. So let's take a look here. I just remembered that on Vibranium Ore, I don't have it assigned to a specific character, and we might do that here in a little bit. I wish the supports page that we're looking at would show you who they are equipped to. I'm surprised the developers don't have a quick way to show, like the actual character's icon maybe at the top right corner of the support window here. It would be nice if I had 5-star Professor X equipped with this. I'd like to see him on there right away. I think that would be something they could work on, and when the surveys come around about certain things, add that to your list of suggestions or so, if you think that would also be a good idea. A lot of you have had that idea way before I did. So I might equip that Vibranium Ore to Professor X, mostly because when you get a match 4 or greater on the rank 2, it will create some projectiles. So you're always going for match 4s with him anyway. You see the Taskmaster sword down there at the bottom. It's locked because I just assigned it to someone, and I'll show you at the end of this review who it's on and why I put it on that character. So we'll cover that in a little bit. Sharon Carter is a good one to increase AP match damage on red and blue. So if you have, say, a featured character in the story event that you're working on and they happen to have blue and red abilities, they'll have blue and red boosted match damage with this one. That's certainly good. And then you see the critical tile multiplier increases by 0.8. If you don't know what that means, 0.8 is not a bad increase. So most characters have between 3.5 and 4.2 critical tile multiplier damage. This would add to that and can really stack up quite a bit. So that one is not a bad support. Let's take a look at Pocket Radio. This is another one I really find to be quite well designed, really good and helpful. At a 3-star, it can be up to level 150 now, so don't forget. But you can equip this one specifically to any character. And if they have a red and green together, I can't believe that the match damage is allowed to increase by 247 if you max this support out for tier 3. That is absolutely huge on a 4-star character's match damage, and it's actually still very big to add onto a 5-star character. So I almost always, when there's an essential character or a 5-star that's boosted for PvE, if they have red and green, I will almost always add this on. It happens to be the synergy perk designed for Dazzler, and I've used it with her, of course, as well. Let's take let's come back to one of the best supports in the entire game. Let's move over to the top left corner though quickly for Chimichanga. This one is kind of nice if you have a red user. If you make a red match, there's a chance to gain an additional AP, decent chance, about a little better than 1 in 4%. And you see rank 3 there, there's a chance to also fortify a special tile, including countdowns, is awesome. I'd love to have this at rank 4 to get that purple benefit unlocked, but we'll see. It's actually a Deadpool designed. Overall, it's for him as a support, but again, you can equip that to any character, not just heroes. So down below that one is the Cull Obsidian. This is a pretty good one. It increases green match damage, and at the start of the turn, there's about 11% chance at this level to create a Strength 147 projectile. That could come in handy. It can only be equipped to villains, so think about who you would run that with. I think I have it on like someone like Green Goblin, maybe. I wish you could, like, once again, I wish you could see right away who it's on. I actually have a nerd spreadsheet that I keep track of these on, but so I don't keep it in my head. Element Guns is one of my favorites. So you can equip it to any character, not just heroes, but I find it to be very useful on, it's designed for Star-Lord, and it is good on him, but I run this one on Kitty Pryde a lot, and here's why. First of all, yellow is her strongest color, and it increases yellow match damage. That's just great. Rank 3, there is a chance to fortify special tiles, which really does help more than you think about it, because if you run Kitty with Rocket and Groot and have strike tiles all over, then you don't have to worry as much. You might get your strike tiles fortified, then you can make a match that has a strike in it, and you don't lose a strike tile. And then in rank 1, there is, when you fire a power, there is close to a 40% chance of creating a Strength 147 attack tile. Now you might say, a 147 attack tile, that sounds really low, not a big deal. Here's why it is a very big deal. If you do have strike tiles on the board from Rocket and Groot or whoever, and Kitty is increasing their strength each turn, if you can get one single attack tile on the board, if your strike tiles have, say, 3,000 plus damage on them, that 147 minimal damage attack tile will carry all of that strike tile damage with it, and it's basically a way to get 2 hits per turn from those strikes instead of just 1. It's awesome. So if you don't equip this to someone like Star-Lord or Kitty Pryde, think about moving that. And interestingly enough, Lockheed is the support right next to it, and it's the one that's designed to work with Kitty Pryde, and has a pretty good synergy working with her and X-Men, so you can read through that as well. A good chance for fortification, and so it's got a really nice defensive quality to the rank 3 there, but I only run that when it matters for someone else. Kitty is going to always have element guns unless I do find something else stronger in the supports. And let's go to my favorite 3-star support in my case, probably one of everyone's favorite supports at any level. You really pretty much, though, benefit the most out of rank 3 or higher on this thing. But it is a synergy perk designed for Okoye. I talk about her nonstop, everybody does, of course, one of the best characters in the entire game. But well, let's start from the top. At the start of the turn, there is a small chance to create a Strength 107 strike tile. That could come in handy, not too big a deal. At rank 2, there's a decent chance to gain 1 extra team-up tile when you make a team-up match. That comes in handy more often than I think a lot of us pay attention to. Now, rank 3 is absolutely insane. When the supported character fires a power, there's a chance to deal 1230 damage to the enemy team. 1230 damage is fine for enemy team for free damage. I'll take that all day, but if you didn't know, Okoye has a passive that stacks damage onto abilities, and yes, she stacks her Wakanda Forever damage on top of that team damage. And say, for example, it's based on how much team up you have already when you qualify for this free damage. If you have 5 team up damage and it does 1,000 per each one that you have, she'll do over 7,000 team damage, and it can go way up from there. So that is in one of the best ranks in the entire set of supports that you could possibly get. And then the synergy perk is also just quite good. Okoye's powers cost 1 AP less for every 5 team up that the team has. So once you have 5, her powers cost 1 less. Once you have 10 team up, her powers cost 2 less. That makes her yellow only cost 5, and it makes her red only cost 9. If you run Okoye with Thor, it makes her red cost the same as his, and you'll almost always do better off to run hers. It depends if you have a lot of special tiles on the board or not, but her red to destroy a row of your choice is just awesome. Okay, so enough about that. That is my 3 stars. Let's now look at the 4 stars, and then we'll cover the supports that I don't quite have yet. Okay, so at the back here is Korg. I do have this equipped to 5-star Gladiator Thor. I only raised it up to level 150 out of 200. It's the only support I haven't maxed out. The reason for that is it increases character damage on yellow matches on the supported character, and I don't want Thor's yellow damage to be higher than what Okoye already has on her yellow, so I can't raise this up too much to make him go past that. I want her to tank and not him, but the other perks are really pretty good. The synergy perk, whenever Thor fires an ability, you get a small but decent projectile on the board and some other good stuff. So I like that one quite a bit. Let's look at Lucky the Pizza Dog. This one is potential to equip to all heroes. It's a synergy perk designed for 4-star Kate Bishop, but I'm trying to find a 5-star that this really works good on. I haven't quite found that specific character yet, but there's no real AP pluses or minuses here. It's all about special tiles and healing and stuff. So the synergy perk is really good with Kate, but otherwise, if you use that on other character than her, let me know in the comments. That'd be great. All right, the Kimoyo beads. This is a pretty good one. It's got decent added match damage onto blue, so I like that right away at rank number 1. At jump down to rank 3, when the supported character does make a blue match, there's a chance to gain 2 blue AP extra. So whenever there's a boosted character in the story mode that has a nice blue, I'll assign this to them and hopefully get a good benefit out of that extra chance for blue. Would love to get the 5th rank unlocked as well. Let's now look at Hulkling, and then we'll take a look at the bottom one next. This is a better support than I thought at first. So increased match damage on green, obviously that's good. The supported character's maximum health is increased by 1,700. This is designed with a perk for Wiccan, but of course you can assign it to who you want. And I kind of realized something after having this for a while, that if you have a character that you run with a Thanos in the story mode, every match you start with 1,700 additional health. So if you take that damage from Court Death, the self-team damage, you get that 1,700 basically discount from your Court Death, kind of making that nice. So if they're green and you don't have a better support on them to use, that is a decent one for sure. And then Hydra Henchman, Hail Hydra. I really like this one a lot. You can equip it to any villain, and it happens to increase damage on black and green. Fantastic. I equipped this to my 5-star Thanos, and he gets the huge benefit out of higher match damage on those colors. And then at rank 1, an additional chance to fortify special tiles. So they don't have to be his specials, any specials at all. And if you happen to have another character on your team that has a percent to fortify specials, they, you know, each one of those chances are independent of each other, so you could get 2 things fortified in one single turn. Really cool. I like that one a lot. So that's it for my 4s. I do not have any 5-star supports. I've been waiting a long time to draw our tokens. Let's click on all here and then slide back to the back end of things and talk about the supports I don't have. In the tokens of supports that in the current batch, there's 3 supports that I don't have at all are available in that batch. So I really think we have a good chance to get one of these few, and one of them could be the arc reactor. This one looks really cool. Again, when you look at a support you don't have, it's automatically defaulted to level 250, so don't be misinformed by these numbers. But it's at max level, 72% chance to gain 6 red AP at the start of the battle. Wow, that's huge. The percent at, if you only get a rank 1 support, is probably 11 or 15 or less percent. And so if you have it, you can let me know. I don't even know, since I don't have it yet. But you can read through the supports, and it is designed to be equipped with the 5-star Iron Man. So looking forward to get that one. Let's go down to Chewie here. A lot of people like this one quite a bit because one of the rank perks has a chance to create an attack tile. And so you can equip this to someone in the Crash of the Titans, for example, that may be under leveled compared to the opponent. And if you qualify for an attack tile adding damage each turn, that's just awesome. So Black Widow's batons, for some reason with these, they are apparently either purposefully or incidentally, accidentally, not ever in the support tokens. They are not available in any of the batches of supports that are available in each season for some reason. We've been talking about that for a little while in the forums and such. Decent here on the support perks and so forth, and the synergy is set for the 4-star Black Widow, but again, you can equip that to who you would like. This is another one, the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'd like to get this one to equip on one of my other Doctor Strange. I might put this one on the 3-star sometimes. Maybe I'd switch it out on the one I have on the 5-star. That would be really nice to have. And the Cravan, the other that is either super limited or accidentally not included in the support token stores. This one I call Spider. I don't know exactly how you would pronounce that otherwise, but this is in a support designed for a perk with Spider Ham. Again, maybe limited. I think it is in packs. I just have never gotten a chance to draw it yet. And this one looks really good, Stormbreaker. If I get this, I could consider switching it out on 5-star Gladiator Thor in place of the Korg that I have now. And you can check those perks out. Looks really good for red and such at rank 3. And now, have you seen any of these Power Stones equipped on anyone you know? They're awesome. They have a bunch of different features. The Mind Stone, when you equip it to it, look at the very bottom with the perks they equip to a champion character, and the perks are really pretty awesome. Getting a 5-tier Power Stone is nearly impossible. You have to be superhuman like some of you guys out there. Won't say any names, but good job if you can acquire these. They're really cool perks, and if you can finish at the top of the Versus season is just about the only way to get these in the game. I'll just click on each one. You can pause the video and check it out and read through them if you like. I don't think I'll have much of a chance to get those anytime soon, but you never know. Maybe these will get unlocked a little bit more accessible somehow, if earnable, whatever, if they do something new with supports in the future. Maybe the support circuit will come back in a different way. I think a lot of people like to support circuit theoretically, just not the extra work it took to get it done. And the green time stone. There we go. So, all right, so let's just go through a couple of characters that I have supports equipped on, and let's, I mentioned some of them. Let's see, just Jessica Jones here. You can click on the character profile and then go and see that she has Chimichanga. When I match red with her, I hope to get additional red AP. I don't have any of these equipped to Iceman, Beta Ray Bill, but definitely Okoye, you can see there, she has one of the best supports in the game possible. Thanos I mentioned with the one for him, and Hela I equipped Proxima Midnight. Oops, what did I click on? Support details, since it has boosted red. All right, but we'll talk about some characters that really make a lot of sense to equip specific supports onto more than what I had for them before. So for example, let's see, let's look at Carol. If she's boosted in PvE, you equip her communicator, and then you look at the perks and you can see that, this one's designed for Nick Fury. I meant to say that earlier, but at the rank 1, you have a very good chance to create a couple of projectiles like I mentioned before. Really handy. And let's see, keep going down. Doctor Strange has that support equipped. Let's look at Old Man Logan. So for no better reason, I didn't have anyone that made sense to attach the Quinjet onto, and so I put it on Old Man Logan for the chance to create a strike tile, and he already creates strike tiles when you play an ability on your from an ally. Cable has Hope Summers attached with this synergy perk for him. And I do have some supports attached to 4 stars. What I'd like you guys to do, if you have a support that you've newly acquired and don't know maybe who it would be best associated with, I would always say, hey, just swap your supports around. It doesn't matter. There's only a 2-hour locked period for moving supports around. So always just move them to whoever happens to be boosted in the story mode. I mean, that's really the way to do it. Some have, times where you'll never remove them from someone specific, but I think the more you move things around and think about that week's worth of boosted characters, for example, it makes the best use of supports. So let's take a look in the story mode. This will be the last thing we cover on this. Wait a second. Let's take a look here. If you go to the supports store, and you'll see the collage here of supports that are in this pack. This is the current 15 pack, 14 pack, or whatever number of supports that are in this batch. With every versus season, these will switch out to a whole different group. They've been on a same cycle of a specific set of supports for each of the seasons. So it's always this 15, for example. Next time it's always the next 15 or 14. Next time it's the next group. There is a really well-kept list on the forums for which supports are coming up next, and that's why I got to get these drawn very soon, because the batch changes, I think, tomorrow. So we'll do that in a separate video, but before we end things up, I want to show you a quick run of what a support can do to enhance a character. Let's get into this match and grab the boosted character of the event, and I'm going to go down and grab my Immortal Hulk. He just happens to be boosted. I don't have a lot of levels in this guy, but I have, if you go look at the info, I did attach Taskmaster's sword, because don't forget, one of the perks is adding additional damage to a character's power. Yes, that adds to passive ability damage, and that's what Immortal Hulk has. So we're going to test this out. Let's just pick some random characters to play along with for fun and see this support in action. So if you look at Hulk right now and you read, I only have green, his green cover added in, and so for right now, if you check it out, he adds a green tile to the board. If there are now 8 or more green tiles on the board, he destroys 2 and will deal team damage of around 500. Okay, with that Taskmaster sword, added to his damage, we will see that that quickly becomes much more damage over time in the match. Right now there's less than a certain number of green. He'll add one, now remove two. Check that out, 2110 damage to the enemy team every single turn that there happens to be a certain number of green on the board. That is really helpful for a support. This is one instance where it's kind of a big deal, and you know, I run this Hulk will be running with Okoye, and she will stack extra damage on top of that throughout the match. That is just, it just adds up so fast. It's incredible. So that's one huge example of how supports can be used to a significant benefit in story mode in PvE. Let me know, guys, in the comments below what you use supports for on which character, and if I was way off on whom I would assign them to and I'm missing a lot of benefits, let me know and I will make some changes according to what you do. I'm going to retreat here. I don't really want to clear that node for the time being. Save that for later so the points work out perfectly. And like I said, guys, in the next video we are going to draw the 80+ tokens and add those in for levels and spend down some of my 3+ million red ISO 8. That's the only way you can do it, is spend that on supports. Everything is maxed currently except for the one, and if we get some new stuff, wish me luck, bring that viewer luck along, and we're going to get some new support tokens very soon in the next one. We'll see you there. Have a good one.